Hi guys, how you all doing?
Good.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, yeah, good. I really enjoyed the movie, so congratulations on it. Although I don't think I'm going to be able to eat a taco again for some time.
Or will you be able to?
I'm going to start with you, Olivia. I mean, Pixie is such a great character, isn't she? She's kind of fearless and strong-willed and really witty, but on top of all of that, she's just a bit of a psycho. She must have been great fun for you to get your teeth stuck into.
Yeah. Yeah, she's manipulative and unapologetic and quite self-centered. But does it with a flair of cheekiness, which you kind of makes it all forgivable in a way. And that was a really fun line to toe.
And Daryl, well, these characters are so kind of flawed, but they're immensely likable, mostly because they're kind of rubbish at being criminals. Was that part of the appeal for you to get involved in this character and into this project?
Yeah, I think for me the dynamic between Frank and Harland is fun, and Frank kind of finally getting this opportunity to live his kind of wild lifestyle, that kind of image that he's had, and then with Harland, I think just how out of depth he is with everything that's going on in the film and how it just keeps unfolding, and so that for me was very exciting to kind of play that innocence amongst the madness.
Yeah, because it's such a brilliantly kind of sharp, witty script, isn't it, Ben? Was that part of the in terms of like choosing this project? I guess when you get a screenplay like this, which is so cinematic and so fast paced, it must be I guess in some ways you probably went on the same sort of journey that the audience goes on when you were reading that script, the kind of adventure side of it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we all had the same first impression when we read the script. We just loved it and thought it was fun, and it's kind of fun and it's kind of chaotic and it's action and it's comedy and it's kind of feels like it ticks a lot of boxes, and Preston is a great writer, and so I was just really excited at the prospect of being a part of it.
Yeah, because it's got when you've got a film that has a screenplay that has this much rhythm in it, Ben, does it allow much room for improv, or do you have to does it almost become like a choreography to keep up with the kind of pace of the dialogue?
Well, Dylan Moran did a lot of improv and he was brilliant at it. Personally, I wasn't that confident improvising in the accent, so I don't know if I did much at all, to be honest with you, but there is definitely something to be said in the way that it's written. It definitely works to adhere to what's on the page, just because of the rhythms, like you say.
And Daryl, I mean, obviously there's a great chemistry between the three of you, which I know is what people just say to people in movies, but you just got a real sense as an audience member that you guys were just really enjoying yourselves making this. Was it just a fun set to be on, and did that kind of spark between the three of you come quite instantly?
Yeah, I mean, we just became friends, if I'm honest. Like, we had a lot of fun while we were shooting, and we spent a lot of time together off set. And for me as an actor, I think I work best when I actually get to know the people I'm working with, and I felt like the three of us kind of had that value as well. And yeah, it didn't really feel like work. I know that said a lot, but we just came to set like being like, okay, this is what we're doing today, and we just kind of had a lot of fun, and we just bounced off each other. So I felt like that was really crucial as well to kind of, make the film. And I was really happy to have Olivia and Ben to have fun with and play with.
Yeah, because if you get three people together in real life, kind of in their mid-20s, and stick them in not the middle of nowhere, but kind of in a kind of quieter kind of countryside landscape, they have to kind of make their own fun. So Olivia, what did you guys get up to kind of offset? Were you able to kind of find any local pubs and
we there was a nightclub that we frequented called Thompson's, where we felt like grannies because everyone was so young, but it was fine because we were all in it together and we didn't really care. But yeah, I think we were just so energized by each other and the chemistry that we had found, that I think we just wanted it to continue offset as much as possible. So there was a few late nights on the school night, but it added to it because also the characters were sleep deprived.
Oh, that's one way to put it. So the bar was called Thompson's, you said?
Thompson's, yeah.
Oh, right. That seems to be the word of this project, with the writer and director both having that.
Yeah, I know. Very.
And Olivia and Ben, I mean, obviously you had to tackle the Irish accent, which has got a real, I love the Irish accent. It's got a real kind of musicality to it. Did you enjoy tackling it? Did you find it quite challenging?
Yeah, really challenging. We were having private and not so private panic attacks to each other and also to everyone else, really, about it. And bless Daryl having to listen and give us advice through it all and try to reassure us, and we weren't having any of it.
Yeah, Daryl, how did they do?
Yeah, amazing. I've said this every interview now. They did a fantastic job. They should be very proud of themselves.
Yeah, Ben, did you choose anyone famous to kind of help base it? Because whenever I've had to do, not that I have to do accents professionally, but if I ever did an accent or impersonation, I almost you sort of choose one specific person to kind of help with to kind of use as a kind of reference point. Did you have anyone in mind when you were crafting this character's voice and tone?
I did, but I want to hear your accents now.
The only thing I ever say in an Irish accent is from Father Ted.
No, what's your go-to? I'm intrigued.
I just go, would you look at him there with his hairy hands? It's just from Father Ted. It's a line in Father Ted. It's the only thing I say in Irish.
Better than mine. I focused on Cian Egan from Westlife. I was trying to find people from Sligo, and they're from Sligo. And so I if you want any trivia on Cian Egan, just come to me, because I'm like his #1 fan now.
Does he know that you used his accent to help?
Not that I'm aware. No.
Yeah. And I was wondering too, Olivia, how was it to see Alec Baldwin not just dressed up as a priest, but dressed up as a priest with a gun in his hand? That, because from an audience point of view, I mean, I remember sitting in the screening room, and you got this kind of sort of just natural laughter just sort of came from everyone when that kind of image arrived. How was it to be around him on set in that attire?
Yeah, bizarre. And then he's using a nun as a shield, and you're like, we're so used to him in every other film that he's done, and now his impression of Trump, and then all of a sudden he's got an Irish accent and he is wielding a gun as a priest, and yeah, it was bizarre. But I think it felt quite fitting for the film and for the environment that we were in. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Daryl, were you in those big scenes? Were they shot on a set, or were you guys actually in a church? And if they were in a church, did you have to say a few kind of Hail Marys at the end of the day?
Yeah, that was a real church that I guess was derelict, I think. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to like mess it around. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And for me, I haven't done a lot of I've done bits of stunts on Peaky and stuff, but we had a big kind of day on in that church, so that was a lot of fun.
And I think I've got this right, but Daryl, is it true you told a story about the Ballad of the Bogman? Is that right? If I I just wondered if you could elaborate a little bit and tell us about the Bogman and what's his story.
I think that must have been just a really delirious day. We were like traveling through the bog just outside of Belfast, and I think I was just chatting bog. I was just talking about, a potential bog man myth who comes and, grabs you in the midst of fog and stuff. So that was just one of those days where we were kind of a bit delirious and finding ways to make each other laugh.
Well, in about 5 years' time, when the Ballad of the Bogman is a big Hollywood franchise, we'll know where it came from.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today, guys, and best of luck with the movie and the release and everything.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!